Deary me, everyone. Well, I thought Christmas was supposed to be the most happiest time of the year, but as Chelsea fans, as we know, it is fucking dreadful. I cannot believe the lackluster, passionless, spineless performance from all of them, barring Reece James, clearly. But hello, everyone. I hope you're well. Welcome back to Kings of the Bridge. Very obviously spare of the moment stream. Obviously, we are trying to do scheduling of match reactions after games. It was something that we didn't know if we were going to do, but we did it. We're going to do it today. But I hope everyone is well. Yeah, it's just so poor from everyone, considering how well we played in the first half. CFC Cole, Silent Psychology, Toby, Ange, hello. Yep. To be fair, Ange, I think we should get an Avengers team together, and I think we'd do a better job than those people who have paid millions of pounds. I don't think we need an economical degree to understand how football works. To be honest, it's what I can't understand is you have such a good first half, and I know a lot of people are saying it's almost as good as what we were against Barcelona. That's what Daly said. To then the second half, knowing that Villa they were gonna turn up in the second half, you expect a performance out of them in the second half. They're third in the league for a reason. You know, and you're right. We did look very good in the first half. We weren't clinical enough. And I mean clinical in the way that this is on the players again, but this isn't just on the players, it's on the level of the players. These players on the wings are not at the level. Neto has been very good this season, but there's only so much I can take with work rate before I need more from you. When we have those wingers sometimes on the pitch, and this is including Garnacho too, it's like we've got 9 men on the pitch. How are you meant to score when you have that? How many times did Garnacho get the ball? This was the same against Newcastle as well. I cannot take this level anymore. And it's quite right that I believe that the frustration isn't just on the owners, it is on the decision-making in Maresca as well. The subs were not good. Cucurella didn't need to come off. Granted, Garnacho, yes, should have come off, but Neto should have come off too. Esteval has not played for a few weeks. You just put him in that number 10. Yes, I know he likes to play in number 10. But this is where you're not treating the players correctly. We were treating Esteval a lot better at the start. We were bringing him into games and he was making an impact. You're bringing him into a game now where you're not going to get a reaction. He looked lost as well, and that's not on Esteval. There's no rant on Esteval. Enzo, yeah, I mean, what I can't understand is that you knew there was going to be a reaction from Aston Villa in the second half. They couldn't have played the way they did again. You know, like I said, Villa are in the position they are for a reason. They're good. They're clinical. They get the result. Yes, I know we kept certain players quiet. But you see the difference between when Watkins came on and to when Delap came on. Watkins has been on the periphery, been on the bench. He had grit in between his teeth today, and he actually wanted to prove a point. He wanted to prove a point, not to us Chelsea fans, but he proved a point to his manager that he meant business. What did Delap do? First thing, pushed the player back, then made a foul, then got a yellow. If I see that boy one more time roll his eyes, he needs to go. And I'm a massive supporter of Joe Shields as well, by the way. But this is a poor acquisition. You cannot expect a level of Chelsea to be in a position where they're in as a stature of a club, and you've got Joao Pedro and Delap as your strikers. Yes, Ange, that's great. Yeah, for people who are in here, which I appreciate, I know it's late on a Saturday, but yeah, if you can smash the likes, that'd be great. Obviously, we're after the Christmas period. We're trying to pick up, obviously, where we left off when we were on playback. Obviously, playback was a big loss to us, but obviously then we had the Christmas period. But once we're getting to January, we're really going to do regular shows in the evenings, in the day, match previews, match reactions. Jem's now in Dubai, so it's going to be an easier time for him as well. So if you can like it, that'd be great. It massively supports the channel. So Chelsea Blue, you said here, first half we dominated Villa and still didn't create any clear chances. I'm starting to question our system, honestly. And this is what's annoying. We did dominate the play, but you are right. I mean, barring maybe Enzo's Fernandez's chance, which I believe he should have scored. It was good from Garnacho. That's where the positives come from Garnacho. But that should have been another goal there, and we should have been 2-0 minimum at half time. Yeah, and I think this is what Jem was saying to me as well, is that we did control the game for 60 minutes, but they brought their subs on, and their subs made a difference. And this is where the difference is between us, squad depth as well, and obviously Villa. When their substitutions came on, they went back to that 4-4-3, and they just looked like a completely different team. And they were probably thinking, why wouldn't we just do that in the first half? And it's I believe this is just a sad indictment of where we're at as a club now. I don't think it's going to change. I don't expect any reaction to happen within the January window. Obviously, we had the whole thing with Semenyo, which kind of went and gone. The irony of us coming out with good PR to say, oh, we are trying. And then we come back saying, oh, no, he's not, doesn't fit us. There's no drive in the club anymore, I don't believe. I believe in the club, they're very driven for one reason, and that's to create prospects, create a hype around them, get them to a certain point and flip them. And that's it. If we can win some trophies in between to show that we are competing at a level for these certain products to come into the club, then that's better for us. Yeah, so Toby, what we said here, good to see you, Toby, as always. Players I'd keep. And this will be interesting. I'd like to know what, as well. Obviously, we can do this later in the stream. And it'll be interesting if we could be the manager or be the owners, who would you keep and who would you sell? So, Toby, you're saying that you'd keep Robert Sanchez. Again, I thought he did well today. He actually kept us in the game at some points. He made some crucial saves. The Watkins first goal was very unfortunate. He made a very good save against Kamara where he rushed out. He was strong. But Toby, you said you'd keep Robert Sanchez, defenders Reece, Josh, Levi, Cucurella and Hato, midfield Caicedo, Enzo, Santos and Sugo. Yep, and I agree, we haven't seen enough yet. Palmer, obviously, yeah. Wingers, Esteval, striker, no one. Yeah, and that's what's crazy with it though, Toby and guys here, is like, and I think, whatever platforms you've been on and you've listened and you heard people ranting, the level of money spent, nearly 100 million on Gittins and Garnacho, or just over 1 million, 60 million on Pedro. That's nearly, it's about 150 million there. Yes, I know Pedro, he can have some up and down games, but like I said, you can get to a point where you cannot just have work rate in your game. We have to have some sort of impact in other ways. Your goals and assists. Didn't see that from him today. He did a couple of good runs. Yep, I understand that, but it's I just don't know what we are going to do, and I don't think it's going to change. Wasn't a good look when you saw Cole Palmer getting wound up, walking off the pitch as well. Granted, they're probably trying to protect him, but it's worrying, especially. I mean, this is the first out. This is kind of like the first blood which and kind of top four competitors taken against us, a full 3 points. But because of how we've played throughout against the lower, we're right in it now. I mean, look at Liverpool, but they were a laughing stock at the midway through this league. They're above us now. It's really worrying. What have you said here? CFC Carl said he's not as bad as Delap at least. I believe that Delap, this is my prediction, will not be here in the summer. I think he'll go. I cannot see him being here. He will start to play, and if he proves me wrong, I'm all for it. And I'll gladly put the egg on my face on that. But I cannot see him being here. He is not good enough. He is not at this level. The jump from being a relegation battle team, playing in a championship, to going to Chelsea fucking football club, it's night and day. It's like me going, I play at this level, Sunday League, but I want to go and play professional in National League. It just doesn't happen. It's not good enough. And he doesn't do anything in the game. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, the impact you saw from Watkins and Delap. Yes, I know Watkins is more experienced and he's, I would say, better. He put his body around. He held the ball up. It's not on. It's not on. What did he do in this game? He did absolutely nothing, barring getting another yellow card. Dreamer, we're now 14 points off the top of the table. I mean, look, we all know that we were never going to win the league. This happens every season. We're always in the periphery because the fixtures favour us and we get the points when we need them. But we all know it's never going to happen. I think how our squad's been built now is our squad has been built to battle for 8th to 4th. 8th to 4th. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But look, guys, if you want to come join on stage, please do. I'd love to hear your kind of thoughts on the game. I mean, typically a game of two halves once again, as Mike Chelsea always says, it's always a game of two halves. One half good, one half shit. Just seeing that the second half was the one which was shit this time. Yeah, Toby, if you can let me know about the quotes. I haven't got Twitter on my laptop, but I can have a look on my phone and ping it across and I can put it on the screen. Is that Pies? He's done that. Let's have a look. Enzo Maresca. All right, let me just. So Enzo Maresca said, I think the goal we conceded for sure changed the dynamic of the game. Until the goal, we were in control, which obviously we all said about 60 minutes. By the time we conceded the goal, we should have scored 2 or 3 goals. The game changed after that, the goal we conceded. And this is where it's really hard for Maresca as well. Your hands are tied behind your back with the quality of players that you've got. Yes, we should have been 2 or 3-0 up. But imagine if we actually had just an inch more from our players in terms of quality, especially Garnacho. It's just, there's only so much a manager can do, but then the substitutes, I believe, were his fault. Oh, thanks, Toby, for doing that. Yeah, obviously, yeah, absolutely. Someone is trying to join, so that's fine. But yeah, Toby, obviously what you've just said here, this is the comments for everyone to see as well. So for sure, yeah, we have to be clinical. We should have scored 2 or 3 goals by the time they scored the goal. We need to manage the game better. How many times have we heard that this season, by the way? Not just this season, last season. We have to manage the game better. Funny how that works. It's a young-minded way of thinking that we can't manage a game. It's funny that when you get experience in the team, that they're able to do this. Don't get me wrong, Reece James has been outstanding this season and he's been growing as a captain. But he's a very introverted character. There's only so much that I believe he can do. And, Enzo Fernandez as well. I love him. Me and Jem, we're big fans of him. I think gets his body on the pitch. But there's sometimes he's got to be a bit switched on too. We all love it as fans that players get involved and get into challenges. But you've got to keep the calmness as well. Keep players focused. And I love that he tries to get players focused sometimes. But you got to be able to do it for 90 minutes. It's just not happening. And I think, regardless of new faces which come in or new toys which come in, until they change the way they actually think in terms of bringing experience, not just any experience like Tosin, quality experience, nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. So Toby again was said, that's what happens when you're not good enough to play for a club. You sign the player. Yeah. And what's crazy is Garnacho couldn't even get into the team really at United. And all of a sudden he's starting. He's starting at Chelsea Football Club. It's crazy. It's crazy. I just cannot understand how the recruitment again thought it was a great idea to get him, unless they thought it was an opportunity, because ding, 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 the price. Until they actually change and try and get squad depth quality at the right price, the price which we should probably pay for good quality players, your 60 plus or whatever, it's not going to work. It's the only reason Garnacho came to us is no one else wanted him. We were the only ones who were probably foolish enough to actually go for him as well. Those Maresca's quotes are confusing, Chelsea Blue, saying, want us to be clinical, but we barely created clear-cut chances to finish. I can't remember Emmy making any big saves. No. Chelsea Blue 881, you're completely correct there. Do you remember anything, guys, from that at all? It's mental. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But guys, if you want to come online and you want to come chat and you want to come live on the Voice channel, come live. I can send you a link. Just DM me on Twitter. It's CFC Matt_17, and you can come on stage and just kind of have your pieces as well if you want to come on. But yeah, it's just discipline is another thing. I mean, look again, Maresca on the sidelines again. It's just not right. Toby again saying Enzo Maresca on a few upset with Palmer's reaction. No, he was working very good on and off the ball. He was pretty. His pressing was good. We have another game soon. Yeah, it's PR, easy way of saying it. Dreamy is saying, don't worry, I'm sure we'll sign another wash winger for the price of 100 Ferraris. And you are completely right there. The difficulty is with that Semenyo signing is, look, is he good enough to start for Chelsea now? Yes. But I just don't think they would be willing to do it. It's a logical solution because of how our players are performing, and it would be something that I would put Gittins on loan. Ironically, probably the place he should have gone is back to Bundesliga. Then we would have Gittins and then we'd have Garnacho and Semenyo. But they don't want to do that. They want to save face because they don't want to look like once again they've made the wrong decision. And that again is on Joe Shields as well. It's another link to Joe Shields, and he's done a lot of good for this club. He tried to bring in Elise, didn't work because obviously salary and potential opportunities, but we can't just keep thinking our small networking pool just to get this working. It's just not right. And don't even go start on the Labia, another one as well. Kukurea sub, he was complaining about his hamstring. And this is what's going to start happening. If you don't trust your players like Hato, and you constantly play Kukurea, it's going to start happening. It's going to be catastrophic. Chelsea owners buy players they can sell them later. And that's why I've always said I believe that their way of doing it is they flip. They flip for profit and that's it. That's all they want to do. Sorry, guys, just having to best chance. Chelsea number right. Toby, again, thanks for doing this, Toby. Maresca on lessons learned. And at this moment, it's difficult to analyse because we need to realise how to manage a game better way. It can be experience or it can be something we can need to analyse. I don't want to be a football club that we just have to learn the whole time. I don't want to be a football club that the manager has to learn. I don't want to be a football club that the players have to learn. When you're at Chelsea Football Club, you're supposed to be the finished product. Granted, you can have a few youth players in the team. They can learn from the more experienced. That's how successful teams work. And I think what's frustrating for all of us, I think it's very obvious why it's not working. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, Toby, you are spot on there, son. Even the owners are learning. Well, hey, look, as long as they get a scholarship at the end of it and a £1 million pay rise, that's all that happens. And do you know what's even worse? They've just had an extension, these sporting directors as well. They've just had an extension for mediocrity. It'd be great for us in our lives to get rewarded for mediocrity. Trust me, bro, honestly, every player we bought had some excitement with them when they first played, but then they learn the system, then the spark is gone. Something is not adding up. What do you think? So I assume you're probably alluding to players like Esteban and things like that. I think what's happening is that they get a certain flair at the club. And I think with Esteban, I think we were managing him correctly at the start. I thought we were managing him in the way that we were bringing him with half an hour to go. There was a real buzz around him. But then he started to not get chosen in certain games. And then when he did come on, it was for 10-minute stints. I always hate it when you see players coming on for 10 minutes. They will not learn anything from being on for 10 minutes. When you come on for 10 minutes normally, it is either, well, probably not in our case that you're winning. We're probably losing, or we're drawing and it's very tight. It's very intense. They're not going to learn anything from that. And I find the reason why that happens is I think it's maybe two things. It is that kind of Pep Guardiola effect, that it's to do with the system, that you're meant to do things in a certain way and that's it. Esteban is one of those players who is very much, he's a flair player. He enjoys getting the ball. I didn't like him going into a number 10 today. He looked quite lost. You saw him up against Onana. It was laughable, really. Like he couldn't do anything there. But by that point, when we were 2-1 down, I don't think Esteban could have done anything in that game. And I think what's scary is that he comes on the pitch and he's 18 years old. He's 18 years old. You know, I'm 32 now, and when I was 18, you know, the fear of anything, you know, learning when you're at work and you've got all these players around you and the pressures. I know they're grown men or whatever, but that's a lot for an 18-year-old to try and then all of a sudden make an instant impact. And I think we do need to look after him more, but we need to look after him in the way by putting him on the pitch at the correct times. When we were at 1-1, that's when you should have done it, in my opinion. But it's a good point though, and it's something I always think about. And it's not only Esteban, there's other players. I think sometimes when you see certain players coming from other clubs, in particular where it's a slightly lower team, so if there's like a player from Bournemouth or whatever, the reason why they then struggle is I think that then they realise that they're at a big club and they can't make mistakes. I think when you're at the lower clubs, you have a bit more to kind of, you have, what's the word? You're trying to just make a bit more of an impact in certain areas, when I think when you're in a larger team, you can't make those mistakes. So I think then what happens is, thanks to, so I think when you're at a bigger club, there's a lot of more daunting pressure for you to, you know, if you lose the ball, you're in big trouble. I was 18, yeah, Matt, we know you met. Yeah, unfortunately, Dreamer, I'm getting very close to that today. I was speaking to CFC Dom, and he said that Carlo Ancelotti won the league with Chelsea and he was in year 2. So scary, very scary. So Maresca hints at a lack of experience in the squad, saying that we lost control after conceding. Maresca also says we arrived 1v1 with wingers so many times and we need to do better. I mean, if that's not a way to say F you to the owners and say, look, the wingers you brought in are crap, I don't know what. It's just crazy. It's just a massive worry, and I don't think it's going to change any soon. So And I think when we lose games now, that kind of gut wrenching feeling of disappointment, it's not, I don't think it's because of the result. We're just like, we know what's going to happen. I know when, yeah, Dreamer, that's another thing as well. He did kind of cook Loki, and you're right. He didn't play too bad. But one thing annoyed me, I watched it on Sky. The commentator was like, oh, you know, Chelsea didn't want to do this or whatever. No, he just rejected us because he didn't want to take a pay cut for only having 180 grand a week. So he's a greedy boy. But yeah, interesting words from Maresca though. Very interesting words though, because again, you know, Maresca saying, like I said, the first half, first 50 minutes, second half, we should have scored more goals. I don't know how many more times you say this happened under. Can't believe I'm saying this. Potter. It happened on, maybe not Potter actually. It happened under Poch a lot, and it's happened a lot under Maresca that we just don't take our chances. That was all because of Jackson. Jackson didn't take his chances. But well done for bringing someone better. That's all I'm going to say. But I think what's more worrying now for us is that we are 10 points behind third. 10 points behind third. And it's a worry because we're getting engulfed into a real battle now with the teams around us. We really are. And I think our fears are starting to come into place. That I think out of those 2 games, we've only, two games, we've got 1 point. We go to City next, is it? Do not expect much from that. Yeah, but I think it's Dream. I think it was Alan Smith as well. So Ender Warrior. People complain the manager, but ultimately directors aren't much. Yeah, and I think this is what's very frustrating. It's obviously quite a small minority who will say it's the manager, and it maybe is. But where my worry comes in is who you're going to recruit after that. The list doesn't excite me at all. Doesn't make anything exciting. They want to bring in someone else, yes, man. But I think Maresca, he'll stay until the end of the season. But yeah. So, and you're right. And this is the problem when you've got youngsters and they have performances like this, your confidence is going to get lower. But this is where some of the players like your Enzos, your Reeses, your Caicedos, you know, your Sanchez's, they've got to, you know, they've got to get them up for it. It's the same pattern every season. As soon as we face a little bit of adversity, we just crumble. We just crumble. But I don't understand how it's not going to change. It's not going to change. And I believe, my opinion is, I think we are just going to get lower and lower again. I believe Maresca made a miracle last season getting top 4. I really do. And I think it was an absolute miracle that we did get the Club World Cup because of Enzo Maresca. And what annoys me is these boards and the owners, they believe they won that Club World Cup. It was them. It wasn't at all. It was the manager who did it for him. It was the manager. So Toby, thanks again for doing this. We played them numerous times and we understood the style and the way they wanted to play. But I think we need to look at ourselves. We wanted to win and we didn't win. And that's why we're super disappointed. Blah. Reese, I love you to bits. But I cannot have any more social media posts or anything like that. Actually, I take it back about Reese. Reese is the best. I believe he truly cares. But I think what's difficult for me is I cannot now have players on social media saying, we move, we go again. I can't see it. Stop texting and typing on your social medias and concentrate on the pitch. What did everyone think about Badiashile and Chalobah today? That being the centre backs pairing. What did everyone think about the centre-back pairing? Because I actually thought, annoyingly, it's typical me, is how it always works for me. I was like, oh, Buddy Shield's actually doing all right, you know. And as soon as that happened, then clearly it changed. What did you say here, Toby? Next match in 6th min, that's the length the sporting directors got on their contract. The fans in the stadium, or at least should mass war. Unfortunately, and I actually, yeah, and you're right. The fact that no one commented on that, I think it says it all about them. Love Chalavid's bits, but he seems to only have one good dance partner. It's Fofana, and Fofana seems to have legs like spaghetti or hamstrings like spaghetti, so he can't constantly be on the pitch. But yeah, it's just not right in terms of the centre back pairing. But I actually didn't think he did that bad. But then he just had a really bad second half, Badiashile. Toby said both shit for their first goal. Yeah, I agree. Chelsea Blue said Badders has to go. He's good on the ball, but I just need new faith. And I can agree with that. That's what's so hilarious, right? We chop and change everywhere else, but it seems that Badiashile's always stayed, Disasi and stuff like that. Well, Badiashile, he always seems to get injured at the wrong bloody time when we're trying to sell him. Hopefully, Disasi's going to go. Wasn't it? There was Roma, and I think we tried to offload him to Barca. I don't know why. I think the massive issue, obviously, with Colwell not being there is huge, but they wanted us to play with what we had. You've got Anselmino, obviously in Dortmund, but he's, I believe, injured at the moment. I don't know. It's just it's not fun, guys. It's really disappointing when you got the highs of Christmas and you look forward to the games, and then this happens. It's really tough. That's why quite lost the words sometimes, because we all know what the issues are, and we just can't change anything, and we just have to regurgitate the same thing to vent. Toby again saying those close to Maresca say genuinely believes in the squad is simply isn't good enough to compete in both Premier League and Champions League this season. Says it all, really. Yeah, it's facts. It's very clear as day, really. Yeah, you're right, and no shit Sherlock sort of thing. That's not aimed at you, Toby. I think it's very obvious, and I believe what's happening in closed doors is Maresca's hammering on about this, and he's almost got to a point that he's having to almost say it publicly to kind of be like pushed to that point that he's having to do something. It won't change. They'll just go to the next one, and I guarantee you, my prediction is that at the end of the season, Liam Rosenior will be Chelsea manager. Liam Rosenior will be Chelsea manager. He will leave Ange, and I think Maresca, I believe, and we all said this when he said his kind of points before, he's got enough. I think he's got enough in the bank to prove that he can tackle the big boys in any league. Look what he did to PSG. Yes, I know we had the magic of Cole Palmer in that game, but he's proved enough, I believe, to go on to not a lower club. He'll go on to on par or slightly above. You know, if he doesn't pick up in Barca, I can see him going there. Juve, Inter, I could see him going to one of those guys. Even Man City. Funny how that works. Chelsea Blue, those sources are right. We just look so weak as a team. Everybody is so small and skinny. And Anna came on and looked like a bulldog. And I think that's where, you know, that thing about Pep Guardiola when he came to, when he struggled for a couple of seasons and he realised that he can't just play a certain way anymore. You've got to get the big boys in. That's why they got Rodri. You see like their centre-backs, Diaz, you know, you got John Stones, you know, large physical players. Gvardiol, you know, they're not small. And you've got to remember, you know, when you're 18 or young, you're still developing as well. And I know they've got this sports science and all these facilities or whatever, but nature's nature. You always take time to develop. And you're right. And that's why it's such a shame with having Lavia out the team. physically he was good in the team as well. And obviously we've got Caicedo, who's fantastic, but there's only so much he can do as well. He's one man when there's, you know, the ball goes all over the pitch. It's you know, there's only so much he can do. It's just obviously that's down to maybe style as well. But I think the days of us trying to get like a Matic and stuff, I think that's long gone. So yeah. But like I said, guys, if any of you want to pop up, you're more than welcome to. I can send you a link if you just DM me on Twitter. Hopefully, it's not, I haven't checked Twitter actually, so if any of you have, I'm sorry. But if you'd like to, yeah, please join and have your say. So our next game is against Bournemouth. Sorry, it's not. So we've got Bournemouth on Tuesday. We're in 5th in the table and Bournemouth are 15th, 7 points separating. Well, they'll be licking their lips, Bournemouth, now. I'm really concerned. I'm very concerned. I think this could get not necessarily ugly with the manager. I just want us as Chelsea fans to stay together, because when it gets to these sort of points, it can get really ugly and people have opinions, and everyone can have opinions, but just keep it as good debates between you if like it starts getting nasty on the pitch, because I want to make sure all of us are happy. And you know, if anyone's got opinions, anyone can say them, it's fine. But I just I'm going to probably go off social media soon if we start to get worse, because I can imagine it's going to start getting nasty in terms of agendas and things like that. So if I'm Maresca, just studying the Champions League and Cups, I honestly believe we're not making top 5. Yeah, you're right. And you're saying you're dreading it now. I mean, look, I don't know what you guys predicted today. I predicted 1-1 before. I didn't think we were going to lose, because normally our record against Villa is very good at Stamford Bridge. So I'm a little bit, yeah. It's just, I'm lost for words really, because I just don't really know what else to do. Like, we just can't do anything. It's very, you know, in footballing terms, depressing. Toby Myers, Toby Myers, I didn't know that. Toby, thank you, mate. Enzo Maresca's lost 4 home Premier League games from going 1-0 up. That's worrying. But that's more, I believe, that we're not taking our chances. And I think teams know this. It's like I always use footballing terms sometimes in like boxing terms as well. You know, like when you've got a boxer who is just peppering, and they're not, you know, they're just trying to get the points, but they're there for the taking. If they actually just put a bit more into it, they could finish it, and the match is done, and the fight's done. But then all of a sudden the tide starts turning, and they're being a bit slack in their defence, and then the opponent then starts to get a few body shots in, starts to make them wince a bit, and you're like, tide's actually turning now in this fight, and he's actually and then all of a sudden he goes on and actually wins, and then it's like, you know, they were there for the taking, you didn't take your chances. Chelsea are like that as a fighter. They're not good enough, but they've got the potential to do it. And this is what I hate about our club. There's always the what ifs about our club. And yeah, I know what you meant about Tuesday. I'm dreading it too. So not fun. Not fun at all. You have 2-1 and we're stupid old Toby. So if people don't know what that means, essentially we're doing a 4 score, and we did at the beginning of the season. And if you put a joker and you get the correct result, you get, is it double points? But if you get it wrong, you get minus double points. So yeah, it's not fun. Not fun. So even from that point of view, Toby, it's annoying for you. But yeah, I just don't know what to really say now. I mean, look, we've got a few more days that will just calm down again, and we'll start again, and we're going to probably have, you know, the same sort of performance. I think what's difficult with us now, and I think Con said this as well, I don't think we're a club where we can have consistent winning games now. I think we'll have one good performance in a month and a half, and the rest it's just really hard. But that's just because of who we've got now, and I think the level of players that we've got. We are not going to be a team. I mean, have Aston Villa won 11 games in a row now? If that's so, that is mental and fair play to them. Yeah, Toby, I read that out earlier. So yeah, our next game is against Bournemouth on Tuesday, and we're fifth. Obviously, they're in 15th, but only 7 points. I mean, imagine if then Bournemouth win. There's only 4 points between it. You know. But anyways, other than that, did everyone have a good Christmas? So that's what I want to know. Did everyone have a good Christmas? Hopefully, everyone did. Wouldn't do a tier list, but if there was anyone in the team today, was there anyone in the team who you felt was good today at all? Or I'd say maybe Reese, and that's it. That's good, actually. Glad you had a good Christmas. Oh, that's annoying. Is it that super flu, Ange? At least he didn't have to watch the game either. I know he's not a huge fan of football, but that would have been even worse. But look, I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to head off because I've got to eat. I just thought I'd come on quickly, have a rant. Sorry, it was me just ranting. It's not very fun live. But look, we are trying to get this Discord thing going as well. So if you guys are around and we do it kind of before the games, we'll do, 10, 15 minutes before the game, or team lineups or team news. Then we go on there. So come in the voice channels. We go on at halftime as well. There's got a few of us who go in there. Ange goes in there. Jem's in there. Com's in there. Archie's in there. Obviously, Toby's in there a lot. CFC Dom's in there. There's a load of people which is really nice. Dreamers in there. We've got Pybus is in there as well. So, yeah, it's really good in there. It's fun, and it gets you away from this horrible show. Oh, Benji, we're just about to go, but if you want to come up, have you got them? If you DM me and you want to come up and have your say on stage, I can send you the StreamYard link if you want to come on stage. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what your thoughts were on the game. It is fun. I mean, like I said, we found out Louis is in a band. I'm still waiting for that mixtape. So Benji, you're saying that second half was a hard watch. Yeah, DM me on I could hang on. Let me send it to you, Benji. Hang on. I'll send you a link. You can come up. Where are you, Benji? Trying to find you on here. Butter Boys, yeah. You're starting to believe, Louis. Oh God. There it is. Cool. Right. Let me just get this up. God, I'm still getting used to YouTube, guys, so I do apologize. Oh no, not open. Yeah, and that is what the band is called, Butter Boys. It's him and his dad in the Spanish tapas bar. Just sent it through, Benji, on your Twitter. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Benji thinks, because obviously he's a big fan of Badiashile, and I thought Badiashile had a first half. There he is.
Oh man. Oh my God.
It's fun, right?
Yeah, it's been a long day. What's so funny? I'm on break.
What
I've
time is
been
it where
pissed.
you
It's 9, almost 10 p.m. in about 10 minutes.
are? Are you on a break? Wait, were you working?
No, I'm studying.
Oh, okay. I
Studying.
get that to study is better than watching us.
Yeah, it's been a long day. I'm watching the AFCON today. I'm partially Congolese, so Congo playing against Senegal. We absolutely fumbled the game, in my opinion. We didn't even have a good game. We scored, and then dumb mistake led to a draw. I said, okay, Chelsea can always, enlighten my mood. No, they didn't. Absolutely not. Very good first half. We should have scored minimum two, three goals. We should have been. This should have been a very comfortable win. This is why I'm not really that angry today, to be honest. I'm mainly angry on the substitutions that the substitutions made us worse today. Um, I'm not gonna look at the back line today, to be honest. Sanchez elite as usual, even though two goals got past him. To be honest, what a guy, playing to an elite level this year, and I'm very impressed. Claiming crosses and starting counterattacks. We should have scored at least two. Ian Matson, that was a handball. That should have been a pen. Palmer's always scoring that. That's minimum three. In the second half, we could have scored one more on the counterattack. So, in my opinion, I'm not really blaming the defense today. I'm more so blaming the attack for not finishing their dinner. I'm talking Joao Pedro, Cole Palmer. I'm talking Cucurella not looking up and seeing the runners when Garnacho just shot it out wide of the post. Um, this is what happens when you don't take your chances, and this fan base really really wouldn't really be this angry if we won today. This is why I always keep on saying I really always want to put some context into it, that this problem and this issue we've been having right now has been going on since the season started. We've been complaining for months. Maresca, do rotation. Otherwise, the players are going to break. Caicedo, Enzo, and Cucurella, they play the most games um, and the most minutes. Reece James, he has not competition, but he has rotation. Gusto is there. Um, Santos, why isn't he starting, for example? Not starting, but at least playing. Um, I'm looking at Cucurella. Well, he came out with a hammy today, apparently. So, is it gonna be fair now for Hatta to play because Hatta hasn't really been playing since Karabakh? If my memory if my memory is right. So it's just a total mess, and I've been predicting this for a very long time. Even though I said we were title contenders, I'm not really gonna sit here and lie. Uh, I thought we were title contenders, but when you do this bad as a coach and you don't trust your players, it's about this is bound to happen. Uh, when you see Pep in that title contending a year, we see massive rotations, meaning in like substitutions and stuff. I'm not really talking in starting 11. Starting 11 is usually the same, and maybe you add change one or two and then keep it the same. Cool. We has a good bench. Maybe not this season, but when he won multiple trophies, he always had a good bench. Slot didn't really have a good bench, but they took the league very early and just finished it, early on into the season. So cool. And even then, they did pretty much have rotation, and they rotated here and there off the bench. We can just go on and on and on teams that do have a good bench and go ahead and win. We're pretty much one of the only teams in the league that don't really trust the bench.
But
When
but
when it comes to this
do
top
you
four,
think
even
that's
United has a bench that they can, at least look to and somewhat trust. And this is why United is 1 point or
yep.
has equally as many points as this. Amory started, trusting the bench more. He's making subs. Tactically, he's doing very good. Absolutely punked Newcastle, could you almost say. Newcastle massively underperformed. Matt, I'm not very much surprised. That's just it. Now, am I gonna go on a rant? No, I'm not. I'm frustrated because we let the game go, but I'm not frustrated for something else. And it's still a learning curve for everybody. The team as a cohesive, like the team as a whole. as a cohesive team, we need to improve. The manager needs to improve, start trusting players. The manager needs to stop doing this hints on, proving points. Mariska, I couldn't give two damns about proving points. What you need to do is work your ass off and coach. And I couldn't give two damns if you have Garnacho or Gittins. You need to coach. That's exactly why you are in this football club. You're here to coach. So coach, and coach to win. Always coach to win. Sometimes we got to be ruthless, cool, but you need to be able to coach to win. So I'm just so sick and tired of just hearing excuses. Oh, we're not good enough. Yes, we are, because this was the same fan base not too long ago, about one and a half, not even one and a half, 1 month ago exactly, when we was doing very good, title contenders. We are good enough. We just need to add this and that. Now, no, the team is shit. No, it's not. You just need to maximize the team, and Mariska hasn't even done that yet. Not even to the closest. We haven't maximized what this team can actually do. Now, some players are underperforming. Yes, maybe two out of everybody that we've actually bought, two are underperforming. That is Gittins and Delap, mainly it. The rest haven't been playing. So, uh, listen, we go again against Bournemouth. Once again, Bournemouth, we had a draw the last time. Now, this time it's a stronger Bournemouth because back then they had injuries. Semenyo didn't play. Now they have Semenyo, and, they have their guys coming back to the team. So, let's just recuperate, go back to training, crave more from the players, crave more from yourself, and go hard. That's exactly what we need to do, because if we win against Bournemouth, and maybe you can even win against City. You never know with football. Now you are into some type of momentum. Cool, you keep on winning, and then it's all about consistency.
Do you
So
find though?
we'll see.
Do you
We'll
find
see.
though,
But
Benji,
but
that
nothing's done yet, man. It's now it's mid-season. We have one more game, New Year's, and then it's a new year. You never know what can happen. I fully believe in this squad. I believe we are good enough to finish a comfortable top four. And I'm not saying last day top four. I'm saying a very comfortable top four. I'm talking 70, 75 points. Whatever you need to do until then, I couldn't give two damns, but you need to do it. Um, so yeah, man, I'm not really gonna talk too much more. I've
well,
had my
thanks,
little
Benji.
rant at Alex's too. I just wanted to say my opinion quickly here because
Yeah, sure, absolutely. No, that's
um,
right. No, that's great, Benjamin. Look, you always know. You
it's
always.
basically my home. So yeah, man. I don't know about you. I heard you a little bit when you spoke, but
Hmm.
yeah, I ain't
Yeah,
got much more to say, to be honest.
I think it's more where my frustrations are is that nothing's changing, and I think and I would love your positivity,
Is
and
it
I'd
just
love
me?
to
But I
think.
can hear you.
Oh, can you hear me? Hang on, 1 second. Well, I thought my audio was not working. Um, can you hear me now? Can you hear me, guys? Hello. It's not working. Toby, you can hear me. Okay, great. Yeah, I didn't think Benji could hear me earlier. Um, yeah, I mean, okay, good. Okay, thanks, Toby. Obviously, Benji's positivity, it's great. I'd love to be thinking that. I just think as fans, I think we should be allowed to expect more. And I think this is where the frustration is that you've got um, one side of my mind, which is like, we're not the same Chelsea as before. We've got to be different in the way you think about things, but there is quite fundamental basics that we are just not getting from acquisitions, certain profiles trying to get bought. And I just think with football, like you don't mess around with football, and this is all aimed more at the model and how it's working. And I just, like I mentioned, I just don't think it will change until something drastically does change. But I just think from above, they're very happy with probably what it looks like from a spreadsheet point of view, so they're going to carry on. And I think that's what's very frustrating. Toby, you're saying here, so from one manager made triple subs to address tactical issues his team was having, one manager had made triple subs with absolutely no rhythm or reason. And you're right. what happened there is, I mean, naturally you have to react and you have to make subs if you're 1-0 down. But those substitutions he made were spot on. It made a huge impact difference immediately. And you always know once that happens, when substitutions come on and you see a complete shift like that dramatically, that was worrying. And we were almost, again, and what annoys me with substitutions, it's very reactionary, our substitutions. It's very reactionary to what we're not being the ones to push the narrative to go, actually, do you know what? Yes, I know, granted, we're playing well and we do need to get that third goal. But maybe we need to be the ones to press more and do more with this. And that maybe is bringing Esteval on at a certain point. Because let's be honest, Neto has been performing well this season, but he had a poor game. He took on his players and tried, but I thought that was the time to try and put Esteval on the right instead of putting him in a 10. But yeah, so interesting though. I think what's difficult when we have this nonny season, right? Of course, Jem is not here and he drops a stinker. Well, I'm gonna say this: his girlfriend isn't very well, so he's looking after his girlfriend. That's why. But I think Jem has always been someone he'll always say if Enzo hasn't had the best game, he will always say that. He will, of course, like me, say the positives, but at the same time, I think we all can explain that Enzo I thought he passed the ball well today, but just I think, again, from a mentality point of view, sometimes he goes a little bit too physical. When you are the vice captain, you're supposed to kind of keep people switched on. And, I think that's just from a lot of the players, though. It's the same. It is the same. Hope Cucumber is okay. Oh, okay. Cucumber again. Fair enough. Toby again. So Mark Cucumber is now set for scat. Oh my. Where does it say that, Toby? Sorry, that's the worrying news we thought all along. Oh, so City has Dodgers, Chelsea. No, this isn't good. Well, this is what I mean. The annoying thing is, though, they'll play behind this as well, and they did this before about injuries and what we had, and this is what's annoying. They'll always figure out a way to not make it so that it's on them. But we've known this for a while, that Cucurella has been on a thin line. Oh, thanks, Benji, for joining anyways. Appreciate you joining. I mean, Benji's got a bit more of a positive mindset on it, and I think this is what's a bit more difficult for me, is that I just expect more. And expecting more is expecting the bare minimum. I think there is more from this Chelsea team, but I just think we are hitting a ceiling with the quality we've got, and I think it's just plateauing. Hato's out today. Gusto is very uncomfortable, left back too. Yeah, he didn't look great, but he shouldn't be looking good there. Yeah, thanks, Benji. Appreciate it, mate. We'll get 3 points against Bournemouth. I hope so. Gusto left back, probably over Hato playing again. Yeah, be interesting. But look, guys, I'm probably going to head off because I need to eat. But I really appreciate everyone for joining. But hopefully we'll get a match preview in Monday. Or Monday it would be. Then we can hopefully get Gem on as well, and we'll start to kind of like I said, through into January we'll get more things going. We'll make sure we can have more lives. I'm wanting to talk to Gem and say we can hopefully try and do a live, hopefully every day, whether it's one in the afternoon, one in the evening, or we do ones in the evening as well. So want to have a space where if certain spaces they're not on, then we can go on. I want a place where we can always be at the same time. But don't get bogged down by this, guys. Just hopefully we can just let this one go again. Hopefully we can just try and get on to the next game. But yeah, until next time, guys, I appreciate everyone. And yeah, I will be on the Discord, so just chat to me on there anytime. Thanks, guys. Speak soon.